Hello, my friends. This is Brian, Speaker for the Dead, coming to you today with a new video. So, I recently had something happen to me in my life that I felt the need to share and warn others. Now, I'm sure that I am not the first one you'll hear of. I'm doubtly even the second or maybe the 100th. Maybe this has even happened to you. But I wanted to express my sincere concern for me and everybody else out there who spends their days desperately trying to claw out a living in an economy that keeps getting worse and worse, because the people who are supposed to be helping us are more interested in screwing us all over. And both parties, both groups, are the government agencies that are supposed to be watching out for us aren't. So let me tell you my story, and then I'll tell you what I think after that. So earlier this week, approximately Wednesday night, about 8 o'clock, I got on my business account through the bank to look and see what was happening. I was waiting for some checks to clear and for some repairs and stuff that I'd had to purchase. And come to find out, there's this $27,000 plus check pending on my account. Now, I never wrote a check for $27,000 and change. So I'm like, what the heck? But I had written a check recently to a business that was similar in amount, but it wasn't, it's complicated, but it wasn't for that amount. It was close to that amount. So I was confused as to what was going on. Yes, that's what kind of business you run when you're paying out checks of $25,000 for things. And that's the kicker. So I finally figured out it hadn't gone all the way through, thankfully, so I couldn't see the check yet. Normally, because when you send a check out, take it to the bank, they scan it through that little thing. Well, that scans it into their system so you can actually see a picture of the check. Well, that hadn't gone through yet. And as you can tell, I'm out in my shop today because I'm working on my truck. But I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this is important. This is something people need to be aware of. If you're not, if you're a member of my channel, and you're one of my subscribers, because I changed my channel to The Life of Brian because there's things happening in life that are more important oftentimes than entertainment. And I didn't want my channel to just be so much about entertainment anymore. I wanted it to be about real life. And so that's why I changed it. It's not that I'm not a speaker for the dead, and I'm not Brian the Speaker for the Dead. I just changed the name of the channel because I felt like it covered more ground. But to carry on with this, now you're like, well, tell us about the 20s. So somebody had gotten access to my bank account number and my routing number. I don't know how. It's not like I just throw checks laying around, but they had created a fake check and tried to make it look similar to mine, but it wasn't even close. There was no place for you to know where you have to write out $27,000 and blah, 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 blah. That wasn't even there. It was just an amount and a guy's name. And then the guy wrote it to himself and then signed it himself. So he didn't even know my name, thankfully. He wasn't that good of a criminal. He hadn't really done any research. He just got this and thought, I'll just try and write this check. So that next morning, I got a hold of the bank and I'm like, look, this isn't me. I don't know who this is. I didn't write this check. And they were able at that point to pull up the check and actually look at it. And they're like, oh yeah, this is big time fraud. And I'm like, you think? And but they had pretty much allowed that check to go through. They had to go backwards and try and stop the check. But I mean, it never should have cleared. It didn't have my name on it. It didn't have my wife's name, which we're the only two signatories that can go on that account. And yet the bank was letting it go through. So now I've had to put more protections on it. But just to give you an idea, so I had to protect my checking account, get a new thing where I have to go in and approve checks every day as they're going through, because some scumbag thought that it would be easier to go write a check on somebody else's account and steal my money. There wasn't even $27,000 in the account, and the bank was still going to try and let it go through. That's how stupid these institutions are, and how incompetent they are and stuff. And I could get all pissed off and go to another bank. The bank was actually really great, and they went after it to try and they reversed the check. They did whatever they could do and stuff, and they backed it 100%. So kudos to the bank that did this. Is that they, after they screwed up, they actually, pardon me, they actually did go and try and fix it for me. So kudos to them for that. But what does it say when it's easier to go and try and scam other people than it is to try and do an honest day's work? I mean, do you have any idea how long it takes me to make $27,000? And not just $27,000, but to get $27,000 free and clear, I probably have to make 50. That's how expensive being in business is. It costs me thousands of dollars to insure my equipment every month. It costs thousands of dollars for fuel, for tires, for wear and tear, for interest on the loans that I have. I mean, it is mind-boggling how much money it actually takes to make money in this country if you want to start a business and try and do something on your own. It is just, I wanted to make this video because you need to be watching. You need to be protecting yourself. You need to do some kind of identity theft. You need to be watching who you're doing business with online. You hear these things all the time, but until it actually strikes you, you just don't get how many people are trying to screw you, because they would rather sit on their asses and try and fake things out. And that's the funny thing that kills me. It took probably quite a bit of effort for this person to go dig up, try and find my bank account, go and get a check program to design a thing that would allow him to create this fake check with my routing numbers and my account number on it and stuff. And so I mean, it took some effort to do this. And I'm thinking, if you put that effort into actually doing something productive, you might be a decent employee at somewhere. Now, maybe it takes like that long to actually do this. I don't know. But it's mind-boggling to me how many people are out there trying to take away from you that which you earn. And that's the funny thing. I kept through this thing, I kept thinking, where's the FBI? Where's Homeland Security? Where are these three-letter agencies that are supposed to be protecting us from criminals and people that are trying to do us harm? Well, I can tell you where they are. They're trying to get the former president killed. They're trying to. They're so corrupt themselves. And I used to really believe in our government, but I don't anymore. And people are like, "Well, the Democrats are the party of the government now. We're the patriots." It's like, no, patriotism isn't about a government. Patriotism is an idea to a set of or a loyalty to a set of values. But I spent a sleepless night waiting to figure out if the bank was going to back me up on this, and that's just it. Our institutions are busy harassing citizens, law-abiding citizens for the most part, who went 3 miles an hour over the speed limit, or some poor sap who walked up to a federal building and took a picture and they get tackled and stuff like that. I see these videos on Facebook and YouTube and stuff all the time of interactions with law enforcement that are just disgusting. They're just despicable. That this is how the citizenry of this country is treated when illegal people that are coming in here illegally, criminals that are out to actually do something wrong, get away with it. They get cash bail. They go in, they're in jail for 24 hours, and then they're out. I mean, most likely, this guy who tried to do this will never get caught. And it took me a day of going and filing a police report, spending all that time at the bank. I had to close that business account and open a new business account, which means now I've got to contact every single person that, or every single company or individual that I have money going to from that account and tell them that's not the account anymore. Now I need you to switch to this one. And for me, as a guy who does everything himself, I don't have a staff, I don't have secretaries, I don't have people to help me do this. I have to do this all myself. It took up a huge amount of time and wasted my day. And so Caveat emptor. Buyer beware. Watch out for yourself, because there's people out there just looking to screw you, and there's no help. There's no cavalry coming over the hill. You're on your own. And but just know that I'm with you and that I'm thinking about you. For you guys who've been scammed too, and you didn't do anything to earn it, just know that there's people out there that are with you. We support you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope this will be the first and the last time anything like this happens, but I doubt it, because of the evil and the wickedness of our own people that and others who are jealous of the United States and just seek to take what we have without having to earn it. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye now.